This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source of the essential news in the business of podcasting, brought to you by Spreaker from iHeart. Once again, coming to you from a hotel room in England, here's what you need to know for today, Thursday, May 23rd. First up, connecting with industry leaders at Podcast Show London. This week, the annual Podcast Show London has brought the business of podcasting from all over the globe to Islington. To get an idea of what representatives from companies across various fields inside podcasting are looking to get out of the event, Brian Barletta toured the show floor filming micro-interviews. A playlist of the Connecting With series, including Podcast Show London and IAB Podcast Upfront interviews, is available now. How podcasting takes on licensing. Day 2 of Licensing Expo featured a keynote on licensing the world of podcasting. Featuring Guy Raz of Wow in the World and Wondery Chief Brand Officer Nicole Blake discussing podcasting's place in a social zeitgeist. The panel follows a recent announcement that Wow in the World and Wondery are expanding their consumer licensing program for their popular children's podcast. Next up, Spotify reveals Australian podcast listening insights, an Australian perspective on Spotify's Global Podcast Trends Tour report. According to the report, the fastest growing podcast categories in the country are religion and spirituality, 75.2% growth, business and technology, 70.7%, society and culture, 60.5%, and science at 60%. 62% of respondents say they took action after hearing an ad on a podcast, including searching for the product, purchasing it, or telling others about it. And finally, attribution versus contribution. Over-attribution on ad platforms is becoming a going concern for some marketers as server-side data plugins from giants like Google and Meta combine with a rise of retail media walled gardens. If left unchecked, brands might see multiple platforms claim they have full credit on the same conversion. As for the rest of the news, the BBC has announced a partnership with Lemonada Media to create a new pop culture podcast. The 2024 Quill Podcast Award winners have been announced, and Acast has announced a global partnership with No Mono, including a 20% discount on No Mono's sound capsule recording device. For an idea of what those sound like, see Sounds Profitable's videos about Podcast Show London, which exclusively use the sound capsule. Be sure to check out all the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The Download is written and produced by myself and Brian Barletta. This episode is hosted on Spreaker. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us again tomorrow, where I'll still be in England.